I don't know if you can hear it, but there's an airplane going over my head right now as I'm trying to record this. That is a major distraction. Now, you probably can't hear it, but it influences my mind. It made me a little stressed out. Oh, how are you going to perceive this video if you're hearing airplane noise? Well, you don't just hear sound, you feel it. Right now, whether you realize it or not, the sounds around you are shaping your thoughts, your emotions, and even your body. You ever notice why some songs or sounds can instantly calm you while others can make you feel anxious or irritable? White noise helps some people sleep, but it can make some people really stressed out, while other notifications like constant pings of your phone can automatically either make you happy, oh look at that, or it can make you stressed out. There's so many different notifications. This isn't just a coincidence though. Your sound environment, or the sounds you associate yourself with or expose yourself to, is kind of like an invisible force field. They're constantly programming your focus, energy, and mood. And the problem is most people never take control of it. But once you do, you can hack your mind for better sleep, deeper focus, and instant relaxation, all by just changing what you listen to. In this video, we're going to show you how to do that. I'm going to show you how sound can manipulate your mind through this little exercise. You ready for this? If I were to play the sound of an air raid siren, what would happen? All of a sudden your heart rate would spike, right? You'd be more alert. Hold up, what's going on? Then I would just stop and play you the sound of soft rain. What would happen? Then your shoulders would relax. And then if I put on a upbeat song from your childhood, like, you know, who let the dogs out? Or what does the fox say? You'd probably feel a wave of nostalgia, right? Sound doesn't just enter your ear, it affects and regulates your entire body and your mind. And so if we think about the different frequency levels of sound, we can start off with low frequency sounds. These are sounds in the range of 20 to 250 hertz. And what's really interesting about low frequency sounds is if it's unpredictable, low frequency sounds can make you feel uneasy and restless, and you don't realize why. And that's because in nature, deep rumbles usually meant something important. You hear thunder, that means approaching storms, or you hear a growl, that means there's a large predator. It means, hey, pay attention to these sounds. But on the flip side, low frequency sounds that are rhythmic, steady, and most importantly, repeatable, they can be perceived as calming. These are things like ocean waves or deep hums, like As long as they're predictable, it can really help calm the nervous system. And then if you move from low frequencies up a range to mid-range sounds, this is like 250 to about 4,000 hertz. These are typically like the human voices. These are the core of communications. So what happens is your brain automatically focuses in on these frequencies because they are the ones that carry emotion, tone, and meaning. And that's why someone who speaks with a really soft voice, it can relax you. While someone that speaks with a sharp, angry voice can immediately make you tense. I just did it right there without even realizing it. A little comedic, but even if it's in the background, if you're at a coffee shop, if you hear someone yelling, you might be like, come on, dude. Those ranges of frequencies and those ranges of sounds can make you have certain emotions. And then if you move up a tier to high frequency sounds, like 4,000 hertz and up, these are like bird songs or wind chimes. So these can naturally lift your mood. And the way they do that is because in nature, birds don't sing when they sense danger. They sing when everything is safe, right? So even without thinking about it, your brain will associate these sounds with calmness and security, which is why you might feel more at ease listening to them. It's really interesting, just the different frequencies. So you understand that sound will shape your perception even when you're not paying attention to it. And studies have shown this in different environments. So in grocery stores, they will play classical music because it makes people buy more expensive wines because they feel sophisticated. And in restaurants, they'll play faster paced music when they want people to get in and out because it raises your heart rate, makes you more excited, therefore you eat faster, therefore you can have more turnover of customers. And it goes even deeper about this. So casinos, they use really high energy sounds, ding, 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 to keep people gambling longer. They get that dopamine sense. And then a lot of traditional supermarkets will play slower music to make shoppers stay longer. They start moving slower. Therefore, if they're in the store longer, they're more likely to buy more things. I mean, think about your gym, right? Typically high tempo music, because it helps push that physical exertion, whereas the opposite at spas, right? It's typically slow frequencies, relaxing, because it wants to relax the nervous system. And they've really, really carefully designed this in places that have really anxious, where you typically get really anxious, like hospitals and airports. They have very specific music and ambiance of noise that they put out to help reduce anxiety. But here's the thing most people don't think about. You ready for this? The voices you hear shape your inner voice. So if you grow up in a stressful, chaotic sound environment, your inner thoughts are going to tend to be more anxious, fast-paced, and negative. But if you surround yourself with calm, steady, and positive sound environments, then your inner voice gradually will reflect that same tone. And this is why constant exposure to city noise or unpredictable sound pattern like explosions, it can contribute to chronic stress, poor focus, and mental fatigue. Because your brain is constantly reacting to sound. Whether you notice or not, you're always reacting to it. So the question is, are you going to let it control you? Or are you going to take back control? So what are the hidden dangers of noise pollution? Well, modern life is loud. There's constant car horns, buzzing electronics, the endless notifications. We are constantly surrounded by artificial noise all day long. Our brains were not designed for this. Think about the chronic background noise. So this is like 50 decibels and up. These are your city traffic, the humming AC. These things keep your cortisol levels elevated. It's constantly putting your body into a low-grade state of stress. So over time, this constant stress, it leads to anxiety, poor sleep, and numerous other mental and physical health conditions. And then there's the interrupted sounds. These are the random dings, the pings, the social media notifications, your phone, you're always getting text messages. And these spike your dopamines. They're always pulling you out of your deep work to attract your attention, which makes it a lot more difficult to stay focused, thinking harder. The more unpredictable sound, the stronger the attention disruption. And then there's the lack of silence. And this is the biggest problem of all. Lack of silence prevents your brain from ever fully resetting. And silence isn't just empty space, it's a reset button for your nervous system. So I want you to think about it, right? When was the last time you truly experienced silence? Even when you're alone, there's usually a TV in the background, you got music on, there's always some machine somewhere, whether it's AC, the washing machine, etc. There's always some machine humming around. Or even right now, like my voice on your phone, TV, or computer, whatever it is. Many people fear silence. I also will sometimes consider myself fearing silence, and I don't realize it. So what I do is I fill it with noise, and I never let my brain recover, and you might do this too. But what if silence isn't just peaceful? What if it actually rebuilds your brain? There's a reason ancient monasteries practiced silence, okay? For years, they knew it rewires your brain, and they just knew, but they didn't have the science to show why. But now there's a groundbreaking study that was published in Brain Structure and Function, and they tested this. So what they did is researchers exposed mice to different auditory environments. So they had 3 groups. They had continuous noise group, they had a music group, and they had a silence group. So each group spent 2 hours in their assigned sound condition. These certain mice spent 2 hours with continuous noise. Another group spent 2 hours listening to music, and another group spent 2 hours in silence. And what they found was pretty interesting. Only the group of mice that were exposed to 2 hours of silence a day showed an increase in neurogenesis, meaning their brains actually grew new neurons, specifically in the hippocampus, which is the region that is responsible for memory, learning, and stress regulation. So this means that silence isn't just peaceful, it physically rebuilds your brain. And in today's world, we've lost silence. And with it, we've lost focus, we've lost calm, we've lost deep thought, and we've lost the ability to rebuild. So how do we take back control? How do we use sound to improve our mind instead of letting it drain you? Well, I'm going to show you right now 3 different sound shifts that will instantly change how you feel. Okay, the first is the 60-second sound reset. Right now, whatever you're doing, stop what you're doing and close your eyes. Unless you're driving, just keep driving, just listen. But I want you to just listen. What is the first sound you notice? Okay, what is the farthest sound you notice? Okay, what is the quietest sound in your space? Okay, this simple shift from passive hearing to active listening is a mental reset. It pulls you out of autopilot mode and allows you to actually become present. The next thing we're going to do is called soundscaping. You're going to build a mental fortress. So think of your brain like a garden, right? If you fill that garden with jarring noises, you create stress. But if you fill it with intentional sounds, you can build focus and calm. And here's how you do it. So if you want focus, right, here's what you can do. You can use steady sounds like white noise, rainfall, or instrumental music. And what it does is it blocks out all the other distractions and it helps you enter a flow state, especially if it's repeatable. The sounds repeat. If you want to go into relaxation, you can use low frequency sounds, again, that are steady and predictable. You want your mind to have an expectation that the future is certain. Therefore, if it knows the future is certain and that you're going to be safe, it can flip off that fight or flight system, and sounds like Tibetan bowls or deep humming or slow ocean waves that are repetitive, right? These can help lower cortisol and activate the parasympathetic nervous system. This is your rest and digest system, and this helps you relax and process. And if you want energy, well, then you can use rhythmic, upbeat music with a steady tempo like 120 beats per minute and, something that boosts dopamine and gets motivation. And all of a sudden, just by kind of listening to this upbeat music, your body will just start getting upbeat. You can't help it. You go with the flow. The key is you want to curate your sound environment like you curate your diet. So you're not just going to sit around and eat junk food all day. Why would you let your brain consume noise pollution all day? The third thing is your sound and your inner voice. What are you really hearing? Most people don't realize this, but sound isn't just external, it's internal. You have your inner voice. This is that constant stream of thoughts that are running through your head all day. And it is shaped by sound. The tone of your thoughts mirror the tone of the voices that you hear the most. If you surround yourself with chaos, your inner voice will become chaotic. If you immerse yourself in calming sounds, then your thoughts become calmer. And studies have shown that listening to positive, uplifting voices, whether that's audiobook, guided meditations, YouTube videos, or just the tone or positive music lyrics, can reprogram the way you talk to yourself internally. But this is also why people who grow up in loud, stressful environments often develop loud, stressful thoughts and stressful, loud personalities and patterns. But the good news is it's okay. You can change it. If you intentionally listen to calm, steady, and positive audio, your inner voice will adjust. The sounds you're hearing aren't just around you, they're inside you, so choose them wisely. If you start always talking and hearing, you're amazing, you're incredible, then you start saying in your head, I'm amazing, I'm incredible. Think good, feel good, perform good. So right now your body is being shaped by all these sounds around you. You're absorbing all this information, whether you realize it or not. The background noise at your work right now, or the work when you go, someone talking off in the distance, it's quietly stressing you out. So get rid of it. The random notifications on your phone, silence it, because they're training your brain to seek distraction. The sounds you don't control are controlling you. But there is an answer. You can take control back. You can design your sound environment instead of just reacting to it. You can use silence as a tool, not just an absence. And you can shape the way you think, feel, and focus by curating what you hear. This isn't just about avoiding noise completely. It's about becoming intentional. So start listening with a purpose. Pay attention to how the sounds around you affect you. Choose the right sound for the right moments. Use sound to fuel focus, relaxation, and creativity instead of taking away from it. And also, do yourself a favor and remove unnecessary noise. If something isn't serving you, silence it. Because the truth is, your brain is always listening. What you hear isn't just background noise, it's shaping your mind. The only question is, are you choosing what you hear, or is someone else choosing it for you? It's time to unlock those senses. This is just the beginning. If you want to hack your mind even further, if you want to train all of your senses by unlocking your full potential, stick around, join this channel. And in the next video, I'm going to explore why smell is your most powerful sense and why you've been ignoring it. You don't want to miss that video. It is super powerful. Subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.